they go.
Hornaday goes around. Narain Karthikeyan almost upside down, and he does go on his hood as Ron Hornaday.
There just wasn't any way.
Hornaday rolls again in turn number 1.
You said it, Michael.
We see the movement.
I'm sure NASCAR will red flag this race here. Watch now, watch the red truck. He's going to push Todd Bodine, and it's going to turn Todd sideways right there into the 5 of Mike Skinner. Mike gets into the 33 of Hornaday.
Just too big of a push. Look at the job that Matt Crafton does, sneaking around the outside.
And when these trucks get backwards, obviously we talked earlier about the spoiler being at 65 degrees. When they go backwards, it lifts that back into that truck of Hornaday up and onto its top it goes.
Oh, trouble, Paul Menard.
Paul Menard's having problems.
Yeah, that could bring out a caution right here. A lot of debris on the course right there.
Yeah, that likely bring out a caution.
Of the incident that has put us under caution for just the 4th time in this race.
Oh, tire. Bad place to blow a tire.
Yes.
We were just showing in Kyle Busch's in-car where you're wide open, already in high gear there, up over 150 miles an hour at that point.
Oh, big crash in turn number 2. David Ruderman. Oh, goodness.
6 gets, it's like, oh my gosh.
Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Like Boris said, got into the 6 car. David Reagan. Oh, my goodness.
That's a hard lick for David Reagan, but this, oh my goodness.
Ron Fellows also into the wall in that.
Now moving off at the bottom of the racetrack as they come into the tri-oval.
Stay on the yellow line. They're trying to make something happen up top here. Stay on the yellow line.
Jason White, and around they go. That will bring the caution out as Joey Coulter goes flying into the catch fence just past the start-finish line, and that will mean John King will win at Daytona. Look back in the middle there, the 22 of Joey Coulter.
A little bit of contact with the 31 of James Busher. Gets up into the catch fence, and man, does that catch fence do its job.
And of course, Ty Dillon slipped right through again. See Ty there in the truck with the bright neon orange, just slips right through. I'm just glad Coulter's okay. That was wild looking. See the way it ripped that back of that truck apart?
Well, sure did. And the front.
James Busher in the 31 got into the back of that 22.
Yeah, and this Mark had caught these cars. You can see Bobby Labonte looks like just loses it, gets loose with that car right up behind him there. But Mark had been there for a while, and you can see Mark spinning now. Not much you can do except hold on and lock the brakes as a driver at this point in time.
And right there. Oh.
Yeah, I was lucky the crew members weren't injured there as well. I'm telling you, that was just a crazy accident.
Mark's trying to keep it off the wall right here and keep it a little damaged as he possibly can, but just can't get it back out. Wow, you can see all the oil go out from under
instantly it ruptured that oil tank.
He's in between 2 trucks, and he does get sideways and then overcorrects it. And man, did that truck hit the wall hard.
You talked about it. You're going 160, 170 miles an hour when you get into the turn.
Yeah, but you know,
and that's a hard right turn.
You just don't see wrecks that hard very often. I mean, that truck clobbered the outside wall, and he shot up there at just such an extreme angle, Phil.
Almost perpendicular to the outside wall.
Head on.
White flag.
White flag is out. 2.6 miles to go. Oh, trouble, the big one on the dinger, on his lid. Side over side, end over end.
Kevin Harvick's going to win this race.
And let's go back and see what happened that actually ended this race.
Jimmy Johnson got out of shape first there, but saves it. And right behind him, everybody starts getting together. Looks like Tony Stewart forces Allmendinger upside down.
Boy, and that, thank goodness, the safer barriers on that inside wall.
Yeah, and we've seen in the past that when something happens behind the leaders, that NASCAR has let these guys race back.
Pit stops has continued. There you see Harvick racing Kyle Busch for position after they've made their stops. Oh!
He turned him. Oh, man. Was that a misjudgment or was that a turn on purpose? Rusty, what do you think?
Well, it looked like Kevin was trying to dart back underneath him. He had a big run and just didn't quite clear him. It looked like a racing accident to me, but boy, it's
They bumped earlier, though. Remember, they had some...
Makes you wonder.
Wow.
See, Kevin tried to do that swap over.
10-4.
Wow.
Yeah, you heard Kevin's radio.
So he pulled right in front of him. Wow. Take a look and see what happens here. Kevin's coming off the top of the racetrack. He did. He slid right up. Thought he had him cleared. Kevin gets below him and woo! I'd say it was incidental, but Kyle's probably not going to feel that way.
And NASCAR telling Kyle Busch to pull the car over and stop on the racetrack so the fire crews can go attend to that.
Comes the fire truck. He's coming to your left. Bud, you got to get out of it. You got to get out of it, man. You got to get out of it.
Look at that.
All right, there's the fire truck right there. But it's up front of the motor. You got to get out of it. All right, he's out, boys. He's out, and he's okay.
But Harvick still has a long way to go.
It's like
Look out, Danica gets turned.
Turned hard.
Danica Patrick is running 14th. Stenhouse is involved. The 10. Ricky Carmichael's involved.
Somebody got in the back of James Buescher. Looks like maybe Carmichael, and then just forced him, Buescher, into the 7. And then it just, man, it all breaks loose.
Keep the camera.
Look at Jimmy.
Yeah, right there. We could keep both these battles in this shot. Great job, guys. Down the stretch. Look out. Trouble. Kurt's into the wall. Boyer's in it as well. And Kurt's getting the worst of it.
It's like a little bump drafting going on right there. We're trying to gain the advantage. Looks like the 48 got into the back of him a little bit.
Boy, he almost came back out onto the track right there. And there is the view as Kurt takes the wheel off.
Man, look at this car.
Oh, man, further back, Elliott Sadler. And look at this. Gosh. The engine is out of this thing.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, let's, we think we've seen an angle. Check the lower right of your screen.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, Lord, look at that.
Head on into that Armco.
Oh, we got trouble, Larry. Coming to the tri-oval. A number of cars involved. Still spinning. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon on the grass, Regan Smith, Michael Waltrip back up through the groove, and there's Bill Elliott as well.
I'll tell you what, it's a shot.
Watch his tires. Wow,
when it picks up the rear wheels off the ground, that's a hit.
And if that light's red and you're not to that commitment cone, you're entering pit road too early. He could have went down pit road as long as he didn't stop and make a pit stop.
Exactly, and that's what the 17 did. The 17 just went through.
Beating in the NASCAR Toyota Series, but a big wreck on the front stretch.
Ben Kennedy slides out of line and slams the outside wall.
Still got him coming here. Just hold on. You're okay. Brakes. You okay, Ben?
We heard Ben say, yeah, I'm good.
That is great to hear, because he took a shot out of the draft, nose first into the wall, and before he could get the truck under control, the back end came and slammed it as well.
This is when those two cars in the front are getting out there, and the guys have a chance to gain some momentum on them as this pack catches them.
They can't do this for 10 laps.
Eric Jones around, back across the field. The big one, part 2 at Daytona.
Yeah, they can't do this.
A horrific crash for Kyle Busch, who slid through the infield grass and went head-on into the inside wall. Now we'll go from our blimp view, and there you see Kyle and Eric racing together, and just follow that 54 car after the contact with the white 20.
Like there was some contact there, and Kyle bumps into Larson, and it turns him to the left. Elliott Sadler hit there by Brendan Gaughan.
And there's the 54. You saw the impact.
5 to go. Problems. Huge hit for Kennedy. The 11 up on the safer barrier. down off the wall it comes to a grinding halt in the middle of the racetrack.
So he's racing on the inside of David Gillen. They make a little bit of contact. You see John West Townley was on the outside. He's going to run right into the side of him, kind of lift that truck up a little bit. Got into the catch fence. For the second week in a row, we've had a vehicle in the catch fence. But again, the catch fence did its job. It kept that truck down on the racetrack, and you see it riding along the top of the safer barrier.
When they got to turn one, Phil, I think they were 3 wide, and Ben probably thought that's a difficult angle for the spotters to see as well. And I think that Ben probably thought, wow, look how close that truck comes to going over. Probably thought they were just too wide, and he had room to move up a little bit for the corner.
That's what it looked like.
Michael Waltrip in the 55. Into the picture. Pushed by Casey Mears. Kenseth with Harvick behind him. Oh, there's contact.
Get out of you now.
Stewart into the middle of the pack and over.
Fortune's out.
They waited all day to do it, but it was big when it happened.
Sure. See Michael Waltrip just barely catching the left rear quarter panel of Kevin Harvick. Get him involved. Stewart's car upside down. On top of Casey Kane's number 5.
Harvick's on the outside of him. Now, boom, he didn't make a commitment.
Oh, and around goes the car behind him. That's the 6, or excuse me, the 9. A very close call there for Sam Hornish Jr. in the 9. The caution comes out. Now we're getting closer to the possibility of a green-white checker.
We've seen
Murray
this.
got together.
Yeah, we have. We've seen this time and time again. You see the splitter makes huge contact with the grass. The car starts to bounce. Luckily, it lands on all 4 and just continues to spin. But we've seen this. The 9 goes to make a move, looks for that inside line, wasn't clear of the 1, drives across his nose, ends up spinning through the grass.
Tore the splitter completely off when it grabbed the grass initially. And then once again, hit hard and up into the air. A wild ride for Sam Hornish Jr.
He's still driving it. Look at those hands. Still driving it.
Look out. Don't spin, Mike Wallace. And he's up and over. Wallace gets back on all 4s. The 38 of Leffler is also involved. The race is going to end under caution. Okay, we still don't know the exact time the caution came out, but here's the replay.
See a lot of people with run. You can see Mike Wallace having a big run here, getting a push from Elliott Sadler. That's where it's all going to start, as he tried to make a move.
Boy, and then he gets airborne.
The caution does not come out right away here. It goes just a little bit longer before it does come out.
Yeah, the 18 was in front at that moment. Carl Edwards gets spun in that altercation.
Get some kind of big move here off turn 4 like Kevin did. Oh, and there
shots
they
into
go.
the wall
They
with the 1 of McMurray. 3, 4 cars around. 1 on its roof. 1 car hard into the wall.
That was
and it ends in flames and sparks. The air over both cars seemed to stall them, and everyone else felt a sense of urgency and a need to move.
Well, let's see what happens here. The 48 and the 24, they get side by side. Here comes McMurray. Menard had a fast car all day long, and here comes McMurray, and he just gets a little bit of piece of that 48. A lot like happened in the Unlimited. Looked like Jimmy's car just got loose and spun.
Look at Clint Boyer in that 15 car get up in the air.
Thing went all, it did a 360. Unbelievable.
Did a barrel roll and came right back down on its wheels.
And he'll cross the start-finish line because it goes all the way across the infield.
Hanging tough here on the restart.
Oh, here we go.
Got trouble. That's Casey Kane. It goes sideways. Joey Logano nowhere to go.
Oh, my.
Clint
Half the
Boyer
field
through
is
the grass. The big one at Daytona has happened at lap 97.
That is the huge one at Daytona.
Justin Allgaier.
Oh, and the
Denny
18
Hamlin,
gets on its roof.
Kyle Busch rolls upside down.
when you're upside down in one of these cars, Kyle, because you're so buckled in. Let's take a replay here. It looks like the 16 got into the 5 a little bit too hard and just turned him. And man, talk about getting piled up.
Watch the 3 car when we get another replay of Austin Dillon come shooting up through the middle and trying to avoid the accident.
26 of Cole Witt just got into the 18.
Who was in which line?
Bob Dillner.
Greg Biffle has climbed back in his race car. He's going to go back out in the draft. Now, I spoke to his crew chief, Matt Pusha, and I said, what did you fix?
Whoa,
he says, well,
trouble on the back.
Trouble on the back once again. The 9 of Ambrose goes around, as does the 1. Jimmy McMurray, our reigning champion. Brad Keselowski torn up. Regan Smith in the 51.
Both the
Kane's involved.
24, we're done. Take a look at this and see if we can get an idea. You're going to see the 9 car come to the left.
They're right in that area right there.
Yeah, the 9 car is going to come to the left.
The second car in line.
And he's going to get, I think, pushed or tapped from behind. Let's roll it here and see. You're going to see the 9, and here he goes, but right there, he gets pushed into by...
That's Carl Edwards.
Carl Edwards, 99
car. Yeah.
Saying if he came out or not. But these are guys that are trying to make the race. Oh, we got trouble.
I think it's raining. It's raining over there.
It is raining on the back straightaway.
All over the racetrack.
Caution's out. What happened here?
Mike Bliss, one of those that broke free. You see the 97 of Joe Nemechek, and heavy damage.
That's Benny Gordon, the 91 car.
To Benny Gordon at 91 machine.
Just all of a sudden, it was
Richardson Jr.
Look at the racetrack.
Look at a cloud burst, guys.
It's not even the whole backstretch. It's just halfway down the backstretch.
And there's the 55 of Ross Chastain.
Wow.
Just got that car this week. This guy, he's got trouble. He's got fire at the back of that car.
Did he? Cut it off and coast. Cut it off and coast. All right, let's get stopped here. Get to the safety truck here and get stopped. Pull it over in the grass.
Again, there's no tread on these tires, folks, so when you hit something slick, hydroplanes, I mean, it's just like being on ice.
Saw Eric McClure in the 14 car, nowhere to go.
And as you mentioned, Jeff, these cars probably weren't up to 140 or 50 miles an hour at this point. And you can see all the damage to these cars at those kind of speeds.
Trying to get past Paul Menard. A.J. Allmendinger spins. And Allgaier and Gilliland have a horrible collision right at the start-finish line.
Oh, that's bad.
It is David Gilliland's car that comes to a halt in flames.
Well, he's
all
in
but
there
destroyed.
Window net going down. That's a beautiful thing. Justin Allgaier as well as David Gilliland.
Car gets a little squirrely with him, gets a little loose, and here we go.
And it's on.
Boy, when he comes down the hill and hits that 51, and that turned him right into Gilliland when he did that.
And watch that red car shoot across the track right into the path of David Gilliland.
And I guarantee you, Gilliland was on it trying to get through it without getting in it, and he didn't quite make it. And that is unbelievable crash. Gosh. Wow. I see wrecks like this, and I think about.
All that happened on lap 2. And now, under caution, Juan Pablo Montoya has crashed and gone aflame.
Holy cow, what happened?
We just got a report that he was complaining about a bad vibration in every gear.
No, Larry, he just slammed
into the jet dryer.
I think he slammed into the jet dryer.
They're trying to clear debris off the racetrack, and the car brakes, won't steer, and he slides up the track and into the back of that surplus helicopter jet engine on a trailer used to dry the racetrack.
Larry, Mike, I saw sparks coming out from the car as if it had a tire down or something. What an incredible turn of events. I've never in my life. Oh my gosh.
Here's a different angle. See the safety trucks up top?
Wow. I mean, it just exploded. When it hit it, it just exploded.
And he was traveling at a high rate of speed, trying to catch back up with the field.
Back of the field.
Another spinner. That's Brad Keselowski going around.
This could be ugly.
Back up across the track. Big damage. A number of cars collected. Dave Blaney, Greg Biffle.
He got tagged by Kurt Busch, went down on the apron. when he came back up on the racetrack, he got into the left rear of Brad. Nothing Brad could do. Like you said, at that point, Brad's for the ride, goes along for the ride, and tore up a lot of race cars right there. Watch the 78 car goes down on the apron, then he comes sliding back up, and he just turns the 2 car.
And it is a very harsh transition. We saw it during some of the qualifying laps. A harsh transition from the flat up to the race, back up onto the racetrack.
They're still side by side there. Let's send it back to you, but don't forget about Ambrose. He finished 6th here in the spring.
And having a top 5 night hang on there. Jimmy Johnson sideways.
Is he going to be able to save it?
What a hard hit.
We're done, guys.
So racing for 7th place. Ryan Newman 39 to his outside.
Yeah, you could see that car just start to wiggle where he was trying to get in the gas to be able to stay beside Ryan Newman and maybe complete that pass down the back straightaway. Overcorrects here, hard impact. See the rear wheels come off the ground.
Look at the air that car got with those back wheels. How hard it went into the wall. Watch the back tires here.
Well, look at the wall, too. Can't imagine what that'd been like without that safer area.
Final corner at Daytona. Who's going to get here first? Regan Smith 7, Keselowski 22, Stewart 33, and contact! Smith turned around. Tommy Stewart is going to win this race. And a terrible crash coming to the finish.
This is a big wreck.
Kyle Larson's car with the front end severely torn off. He's bailing out of the car. Part of that car did pierce the catch fencing.
Oh, turn 2. Ryan Newman tried, and he finally dumped David Gilliland. Newman had hit him about 3 times before, and that was the charm out of turn 2.
But look who paid as big a price as Ryan Newman in the 39.
I'm not sure this fight's over with.
This went on for 3 straight laps. Newman trying to get by with the bumper. And Gilliland ended up.
What's the guy coming out of this 38 car? I think he might be a little ticked.
Would not be the least bit surprised.
He's trying to get out of his car. I know that.
Johnny Sauter, he won at Daytona earlier this year. Can he do it again? They wreck behind him. They're rolling behind him. Now the 88 spins. Thor Sport is going to win. It's going to be Johnny Sauter that will get the win, but they wreck behind him.
Matt Crafton has not got to the start-finish line yet.
And they're still wrecking. Crafton does slide by the start-finish line. The 32 of Miguel Paludo was upside down. It's on fire now.
Somebody hit Kyle Busch really hard late in that crash. Just as they crossed the start-finish line, the front of his truck is tore off.
Matt Crafton, let's take another look.
That's Jeb in the black truck.
Being pushed by Miguel Paludo. He got pushed sideways into Kyle Busch.
That sends Busch sideways. Dakota Armstrong in the 60 was able to stay clear up high.
Watch Paludo flip over when Kyle gets on the right rear of his truck.
See David Starr go by.
Kyle
Chris Fontaine going by. Justin Lofton in the 6 truck. There's Clay Greenfield in the 68. John West Townley in the 7 going by on the inside.
I think there might be one more impact for.
Yeah, Kyle Busch did get hit one more time.
Kyle Busch, I'm thinking maybe it was the.
We watched though the 32 still upside down. He'll end up rolling just at the end as he gets hit one more time here.
Yeah. The sliding down the racetrack isn't that bad. It's the landing on the racetrack that hurts you in a flip.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the bottom of the track. Jr. will win at Daytona. And the big one happens behind them.
Oh my God.
And the 11 gets kind of stuck in the middle there and comes across the Ford's bumper. As he does, he spins back in, gets the 3 airborne, and he just gets projected off the other cars right up into the fence.
He went from the bottom of the racetrack over 2 rows of cars and into that catch fence.
Here we go. You can see him on the bottom. Rex starts in front. He runs in the back of the 24. Gets up on the 11. Now he's on top of the 55. And now it's just along for the ride. Watch the car stop. Watch the car stop. It gets into those poles. and it goes from, I don't know what, 180, 190 miles an hour, I'm just guessing, to a complete stop. That is
Trying to work with him there. Oh, and McMurray goes around in front of the field.
Huge wreck.
Paul Menard is in it. Clint Boyer is in it. Menard is hit by Casey Kane. His car's all torn up.
Well, we'll see what started this one. We're coming off turn 4 here. All bottled up, bunched up. All it takes is just a little bit of a tap from somebody from behind. See right there, it looked like Greg Biffle may have gotten into the back of the one car. Not sure. Jamie McMurray, that's in him around, and then it's on from there. He just starts taking out cars left and right.
Biffle got into McMurray, but did Joey Logano give Biffle a shove into McMurray?
There's our champ, Kevin Harvick. He got damaged. Danica come, look at her come through here. I don't think she ever makes any contact with anybody. No, she doesn't. She's clean.
Kyle Busch almost missed it. He got it in the left front. And Menard got hit about 4 times.